Hello, this is Date with the Divas. If this is your first time with us, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you for sticking in with us. And hopefully, you're enjoying our videos, which is why you're coming back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, we have some hot topics to discuss. If you haven't subscribed, please click on that subscribe button. And don't forget to like our videos and also click that bell for those instant notifications of our latest and greatest. Now grab your drinks.
Ooh, pretty drink, Joe.
All right. And let's get it on. What we got tonight, ladies?
All right, y'all. I got a couple hot topics for us to discuss. So let's jump right on in. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard the news, but Tyler Perry has taken majority control of BET and I'm sorry, my notes are wrong. VH1. I wrote MTV in my notes. I was tripping, but it's BET, which stands for Black Entertainment Television, and it has not been Black owned in the past, I don't know how many years. And VH1 comes with that. So, that used to be Video Hits One. It started to get a little Black lately as far as the content, so Tyler Perry has purchased both of them. My sources for this story are Yahoo Entertainment and hiphopvibe.com. So according to Hip Hop Vibe, Perry purchased the networks for $400 million. Perry bought a majority stake in the networks from the company Paramount Global. Prior to the purchase, Perry had partnered with the streaming service BET Plus, and he has multiple TV shows on BET. So he has Tyler Perry Sisters, Assisted Living, Meet the Brown, or is it not Meet the Browns, the other ones? Oh, the Have and the Have-Nots is him? Okay. The Oval, yeah, a whole bunch of shows that I didn't even realize were his. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think this is a good move for Tyler Perry? Is this a good move for BET? Do you guys still watch BET? Or are you more likely to watch BET after the purchase? Talk to me, Divas.
You know what's up for sale? Shoot, they didn't give nobody else no chances. No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, did he have your
coins together?
Yeah, I was like, was you trying to buy it?
They've been talking about it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Byron Allen was interested in it as well.
Who?
Byron Allen.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, Byron Allen has that kind of money?
Oh yeah, Byron Allen owns many things. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say, like network things.
Okay. I was gonna say I thought he was into networks as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
But you said majority
owns MTV, correct?
I'm sorry.
VH1 owns MTV, correct?
So I think they're split now. So
they
they were together, MTV and VH1. I've always thought of them as a package deal, that VH1 was like the sister to MTV. But I think MTV has stayed with Paramount, and VH1 came as part of this deal.
Okay.
and you said majority owner, so he's not the sole owner then. So he has a
That's what it seems to be. A lot of the headlines are just like, oh, Tyler Perry owns BET, but as I started reading the articles, it says majority owner. So I think that Paramount still has some stock in it.
Yeah, but majority means he'll be the decision maker.
Right.
And we know
What
how
he
those
says
decisions go.
goes.
We see them wig lines, we seen them story scripts. So I don't know if it's gonna really ramp up BET's viewership or not, because I mean he got half the shows are his anyway that are original programming. So
anyway.
Yeah.
I don't see it really turning over a quick buck for him, but I'm glad to see a Black man win though, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I think this is great. I think this is great all around, hopefully he can get some more,
More networks.
diversify his channels. How about that?
Okay.
I agree with the diversification.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the programming needs to switch up a little bit?
In many pots.
Yes, I just hope he doesn't try to write for every show now on all these channels, okay? Like he needs to just
Like we don't need the Medea network.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, I just heard for a lot of diversification as it relates to content, characters,
Mhm.
Mhm.
all types of people. Let's just put it all up.
Yeah.
Like, uh, Ms. Nicole was talking about Byron Allen, and I just looked up what he has, right?
Mhm.
And this could be not up to date, but this is according to his website.
Okay.
He has the Weather Channel, Comedy TV, Cars TV, Justice Central, Pets TV, Recipe something, Weather Channel in Spanish. You see the diversification I'm talking?
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
So
yeah, so
yeah.
but I think this is a great thing for him. And with the studio and everything, I
Right.
think this is great. I think this is amazing. And he's being what is it? He's breaking down some doors, some glasses, or some ceilings or what have you, and showing future generations, all these things
Possibilities.
are possible.
Possibilities. And I feel like Tyler Perry is I don't have anything to back this up, but I feel like he's, the person that give people a chance and stuff like that. So, maybe we can see some more productions from up and coming, producers,
Right.
directors, and things like that. Partner with the network or with the streaming service. Cause I mean, we've got the platforms for them. So, hopefully
Yeah.
this is a thing.
From what I remember, from what I remember of him, I like the fact that, because he has humble beginnings,
Mhm.
that he is a big, you know, supporter
Mhm.
of people and trying to better people, especially people who come from,
Meager
meager
beginnings.
means.
Yeah.
He's always been very supportive, and I appreciate that. And the time that I did meet him, he was very humble and very down to earth, which is what I appreciated. He was just very real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from what I hear, he also, I mean, not just here, but I've read he also pays the actresses and actors what they're worth so that they can collect their coins
You like
outside of
that?
being in, of black movies. I think it was Taraji, speaks very highly. He was the first one that actually paid her well so that she can go collect it when she did was it Benjamin Button or whatever the the next
Right.
movie she did. She was able to get paid, equivalent pay because we're still making less money than the other actors and actresses from of other nationalities.
I
Yeah,
wonder.
I remember hearing that story from Taraji as well. It's like him helping her like get her
Monique
work.
has a different tale to tell.
No, was that Tyler Perry or wasn't that
Tyler,
oh okay. I thought it was
it was a whole list of people, honey.
oh
He was on the list, right?
because I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh, I was like, what Monique have beef with? But who didn't she? That's a smaller list.
No, it was Tyler Perry and Oprah who bought into Precious. And so he was mad at them too.
Okay. Yes. I do remember that. Okay.
She mad at the world.
Yeah. she do be mad at the world. All right. Well, viewers, you let us know. Y'all ready for Tyler Perry presents BET and VH1? Drop down in the comments. Let us know. Let us know some of the programming that you would like to see on BET and VH1. We have no we have no pull in that. We don't know Tyler Perry, but we just want to know what y'all want to see.
But Tyler, when you watching this video, look at the comments because people got stuff to say, okay?
Yeah, yes. Okay, so we're just gonna move on to the next topic. Miss Keke Palmer. There she is when she announced her pregnancy on SNL. The other day, Miss Keke Palmer tweeted about experiencing breast milk discrimination at the Houston airport. So my sources for this story are The Independent UK and Keke Palmer's Twitter account. So on June 12th, Keke Palmer tweeted, that breast milk discrimination at the Houston airport had ruined her mood, and that there was the TSA agent was threatening to throw out 16 ounces of breast milk that she had pumped.
I've been there.
Say what?
I've been there.
Okay. So other mothers jumped in the comments and said that they experienced similar things. One woman even said that TSA cut the pumps on her, or the tubes on her breast pump. So everyone was jumping in on that. Also, in the Independent UK article that I read, they mentioned that there was a case in October 2021 where gymnast Shauna Johnson alleged that she was publicly groped and humiliated by a TSA agent because she was traveling with breast milk. So there were some other people that jumped in the comments and were like, hey, Keke, you should have put the breast milk in smaller bottles, like 3-ounce bottles. But according to TSA guidelines, you can carry breast milk in quantities greater than 3.4. For us, regular folks, if we have our shampoo or any other liquids, they've got to be in 3.4 ounces or smaller bottles. But for breast milk, any food or beverage for toddlers and newborns, that's covered by the BABES Act, which is the Bottles and Breast Milk Equipment Screening Act. And there's under that act, the TSA agents are supposed to be provided with ongoing training so that they know how to handle these situations. So what do you guys think? So I know some of you, Lava, you just said that you've experienced this, or you know the feeling. Some of us are mothers, some of us aren't. Do you think TSA went too far? Do you agree with the term breast milk discrimination? Someone else on the tweets was like, oh, that's a little harsh, that term. What are your thoughts?
I don't think that's a little much, but I do believe there's insensitivity.
There we go.
I think that's a better word.
I think it's more insensitivity and probably just not knowledge. I want to say the containers.
It can't be about knowledge. It's insensitivity. Come on.
It's just insensitivity. I want to say like the containers that I had was actually like the containers that come with the actual pump. So it was like, it wasn't the 3 ounces. I want to say they're like 6, almost 7 ounces. And it matched the breast pump. And the TSA agent was like, what is this? And I'm like, it's breast milk. And he was trying to open it and want to put the little strips in them to test it. Oh, I went off. I was like, I want to see a man. I want to see a supervisor. And I was like, what are we doing? And I was like, it takes a long time. This is liquid gold.
Thank you.
I think it takes a long time to produce this. I'm gonna need, I was like, and no one's moving. And so it ended up, it was a male, and a female supervisor came over and was like, no, we're not going to do that. So end up rectifying the situation. But I was like, dodo head.
So
I think that's what I heard that she was going to say.
Sorry, Nicole?
What actually happened with Keke?
You know what? I don't know for sure. I'm guessing that she did not have to throw it out because she said there was the threat of it having to be thrown out. So I'm guessing that someone came over and kind of was maybe a manager or somebody was able to come over and be like, no, this is cool.
If there was a threat, maybe I'm thinking that it was like when Lava was talking about the amount. So maybe they were like, well, it's not the 3 point whatever ounces. And so maybe it's more.
And also the fact that they couldn't test it. He was like, oh, well, we're going to have to throw it out. I was like, oh, no, the hell we not.
Right.
Wasn't there, and I may be making this up, so please forgive me, did they make somebody taste it? Like to prove like it was something, have you heard?
Oh, I wouldn't, I don't know.
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
Viewers, that might be a mistake,
that's
and I
not
don't know.
far-fetched.
Right.
Exactly. I wouldn't put it past some stupid man.
I could see them being like, well, if it's breast milk, let me see you drink it or something like that, and I'm not saying that this happened in this situation, but I could see that, like you said, some stupid male who is insensitive to the situation and not educated about the policy. Because I'm like, if that's the policy, everyone should know that, like,
Mhm.
yes, this person is traveling with a toddler. We've got to let this go. You
Yeah, I was
know,
just
like,
about to say, like, this law has been around for a long time, right? Like, it's been decades. So how are they not trained still on what breast milk looks like, you know? Like,
right.
Even if they, to me, my opinion, even if you didn't know this act and you're just becoming part of TSA or something like this,
Mhm.
this is a parent with a child. So you have to think, okay, we're gonna have to do something a little different than the regular Joe Schmoes. And
Mhm.
if you don't know, then you ask somebody, right?
Right.
Baby. Sorry.
Yes. Don't know, now you know.
But
Andres, I see the wheels turning.
go ahead, just say it, girl, say it.
Arnita, you always catch me with an unpopular
Because I can
opinion.
see you thinking.
No, I see in your face too. I was like,
I
Aunt
see
Teresa
it
ain't
too.
saying nothing.
Viewers,
She's
y'all
like,
be seeing it. Y'all be seeing it, right?
So get ready for the insensitivity.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
If we're prioritizing public safety, which is what I thought the purpose of the rule was, is that the time, like, to be sensitive? Like, if we're making exceptions, let's just get rid of the rule. If
But there
every
is,
they have to make
I would imagine
there
exceptions.
is the act.
woman that comes through has some breast milk. So if every fifth woman that comes through can come through, I
But
mean,
they need to come through. Would you want that baby on the? I mean, like, then somebody's gonna
I
talk
don't
about
want
if she
that
pulled a.
terrorist that was pretending to be a breastfeeding mom on my plane
And this,
blowing the shit up. That's what I don't want.
and this
That's
is
a
my
good point.
point. This is my point where you remember, because there were people, or I could have sworn there was like stories with them trying to put stuff in baby pampers and things like that. Again, this is a specific situation, and I'm sure there has to be protocol for this specific situation. So if you don't know, you gotta
But if
ask.
they want to test it, then the mom gets upset that you want to test it. But it's like, should we just let any woman who says
well,
she
then I think they have to have
breastfeeding
a
come
better
through with her
system.
liquids?
I think, okay, so if we're following what you're saying, I think there has to be a better system for testing it. Maybe there's a little cup that you can pour it into, and then we stick it in there, because Lava, what I would think is, like, you're not going to stick this test strip in my baby's bottle, and then I'm going to go on my
Contamination.
way and feed it to my baby.
But don't they
Like,
say,
Would you
don't,
want me to stick a
don't
test
hurt?
strip in your food?
You heard that saying, don't
I
hurt?
don't want
Don't
the
hurt.
bomb on my plane, Marnita. That's what I don't want. And
No,
whatever,
and I understand that,
whoever
because
has to get offended so that I can be safe when on my flight,
but it's not
I'm
just about
okay
offending,
with
it's
it.
about
I'm okay with it.
having food for the baby.
Child.
Okay, so
Well, I have this question.
Okay, wait,
I'm
Alicia,
gonna
you were saying something?
Go ahead, Alicia. What were you
I
saying?
was gonna say, you know, to Andresa's point, should there be an age limit to getting on a plane then? Or just certain planes?
Oh, so
Like,
now
Are you
you're
saying we can't take the babies on planes?
for
You're
5 hours.
discriminating against babies.
See, but that's what I say. There has to be certain protocols, just like
Yeah.
Marnita was saying. Fine, you want to test the milk, not a problem. Well, then we're gonna have those little, I don't know, those
Yeah,
little
like a little
those
Tylenol cup.
test tubes
Yeah.
or whatever, I don't know, and
Give
we'll
them a
put it in
separate
it, and then we'll
line,
test
let
it or
them
something.
family boarding line, family
Right.
check-in line for that
Exactly.
kind of thing.
Good
But
idea.
Make provisions.
right. But I think it's also that, okay, now from what I'm reading, they have this act that, okay, if a parent has a toddler, or if somebody's traveling with a toddler, then you let them bring bottles, you let them bring foods and liquids. And I do understand your point, Antrice, that somebody
I'm
could
sure
be
there's
using
more
that to
to it than
smuggle.
that.
But if you have this rule, say you're getting ready to travel with your toddler, you go on the websites or whatever, you read these rules, you're like, I'm good, I pumped 16 ounces, and now I'm going to take my child and we're going to travel. You're already traveling with the child, and now somebody is telling you that even though you're following the rules, they are going to give you a hard time. It's like, okay, come up with some better rules.
Well, they give us a hard time anyway.
I was
when
getting
I
ready
follow
to say
the
that.
rules.
Just because he follows them, you ain't not gonna have a
I
hard
just-
time. Yeah.
It's not about the hard time. I think if they actually threatened to throw it out or they were going to test it, that's my issue. I have more of an issue with that because you know, you follow the rules and the not, you know, the baby needs the milk, because I'd rather have the baby with the bottle than the baby screaming on the plane.
Yeah.
I'd rather feel safe on the plane to be.
Well, you know what I'm
I
gonna
don't
say,
think-
this
And
may
there's
sound real crass.
protocol,
Until you're
there's-
in a situation, you can't always, you can't be like, you can't be that way. You can't be that way, because
There's
when you're in that
protocol for
situation,
everything.
Wait,
You can be
exactly.
safe-
There's,
You
you
can
know,
be safe and have a protocol for everything.
Exactly.
You know? I mean,
How long for the mothers? How long does it take to pump 16 ounces? Or it's like, can you do it on command? Can you be like, oh, okay, now I'm through to TSA. Let me go pump my 16 ounces.
I will tell you this.
Like a cow?
There were
Yeah.
points that, there were points like sometimes I could like be watching TV and all of a sudden it's oh shoot, oh I got, but there are times that you're looking at it and you're just like this, humming, waiting for it to come out. You know what I'm saying? It comes on demand. Sometimes you like, baby cry, because crying sometimes, kind of makes those things go. But it all depends. It all depends. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff to get breast milk. And then when I finally got it, so it's not a science. It comes when
Right.
it
So
wants
it-
to come.
So
Some
yeah,
people are plenty full.
so if you're a mother, you need to be prepared. If you're traveling with a child, you need to be prepared, because it may not come while you're waiting on
Because
that plane.
then I can't carry this on the milk, but then you're gonna be offended when I pull my left titty out.
Right.
Well, that's I
Or
was
when my
gonna say
baby
the
starts
same thing.
screaming.
Now granted, you have cover-ups and stuff like this, but there's always somebody, you know what I'm saying? So like Joe said, with everything, there is some sort of solution or some sort of go around that we can come about that can make everybody happy and still keep people safe.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
we can just
It's
let
Nicole.
Patrice get on another flight.
Thank you, Nicole.
we'll wait for the child-free flight. No baby milk, no popcorn, no screaming kids.
I just don't see the point of the
Adult
rule
only
if you're making
flights.
exceptions. That's all. I just don't.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
I
like-
agree with that to a
I
point.
agree
I think
with you
that
too, Antrice. I kind of feel like there might be more to it than just be like, oh, they could just go on with anything. I
Right.
kind of feel there's a little bit, there has to be a little bit more to it
Yeah.
than that.
and then teach everybody so that we have the same TSA rules at every airport, so we ain't going through the BS. But viewers, drop down, let us know what you think. Was that breast milk discrimination? Keke, I think we got a better word for you. It was insensitivity.
Yeah, we got.
Yes, breast milk insensitivity. But viewers, drop down, let us know what you think. Have y'all encountered this problem? Let the divas know. All right.
P.S. The 3.4 rule is an exception.
The 3.4 rule is an exception?
Yes,
Oh,
the
well-
ounce, that you can only bring 3.4 ounces of liquid.
Well, it's the rule.
Wait, you're
I'm
talking
saying it's
about
an
for the breast milk?
No. In general, Antrice is saying there should be no exceptions.
Okay.
It should be safe. They don't want any liquid on, but they made the exception so you can bring 3.4
Oh,
I
ounces.
see what
okay.
you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you're gonna let people bring 16 ounces of some liquids, that's what I'm saying is making.
I don't think, the thing is, I don't think she brought it in some 16. Did it say that she brought it in 16 ounces?
No,
or
she
was
just
it
said
dispersed?
16 ounces of my baby's food. She didn't say how it
Yeah,
was
and
divided up.
there's
Yeah,
usually, there's
The
no,
implication is she was over the 3.5.
Right, but
Implication.
according to this act, you can be over as long as you have a
Right, so
toddler,
that's called
because
exception.
it's like
Yeah.
everything goes. You have a toddler, bring all the liquids that you need
Right.
for this toddler's survival. So, let us know. Anybody out there work for TSA? Give us your take. All right. Y'all ready to get into the real mess?
Oh Lord, here we go.
I've
Are
been
y'all
waiting.
ready to get into the real mess? So we got a Twitter beef, y'all.
Oh
Anita
yes,
Baker
okay. Yeah, I know what you.
versus Babyface.
oh,
yeah.
dang, Gina.
So
Who's that?
Anita Baker. My sources are TMZ.com, HollywoodUnlocked.com, TheShadeRoom.com, and ILoveOldSchoolMusic.com. So
Everybody.
Anita Baker is currently on her The Songstress tour, which is her farewell tour.
Again.
And Babyface is a special guest, or was a special guest, but we'll get to that. So this started about a month ago. So on May 10th, and I remember seeing a story about this, but there just wasn't much to it. Babyface tweeted that he would not be taking the stage that night in order to give Miss Baker the time and space to perform her entire show. So this was at the Prue Center in New Jersey. So I remember seeing that, thinking it was a little weird, like what's going on. As I was researching this story, I found out more information that there were technical difficulties.
This is the original tweet that
Right.
alerted everyone to.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right,
So this one where he says, "I am truly sorry to my fans who have been waiting for me to hit the stage this evening at the Prudential Center. I was asked not to perform in order to give Miss Baker her time and space to perform her entire show, in its entirety. My band and I are extremely sad and we didn't get to perform for y'all tonight." So, as I was doing some digging under this tweet, I saw a clipping from a TMZ article. There were technical difficulties that night with the sound. So I assumed that pushed the show back a little bit. And so I'm guessing the show had to end at a certain time. Some venues you have to end at your end time. You can't just go all night.
Or you
And
get
so,
Right. She replied to that.
Right. And so because Anita Baker had a show that was set up and Songs to Sing, and it is her concert,
Right.
yes, she asked him not to perform, or the people, her team or whatever. So a lot of people jumped in the Twitter comments after Babyface's tweet and was just like, oh, that's messed up, blah, blah, blah. They're on his side. Some people were actually coming to see him,
Right.
and they kind of wanted their money back, or probably because of this delay and everything. But that was on Live Nation, which Anita Baker was like, that's on Live Nation. They've apologized. They take full responsibility. And then some other fans have said they just have had bad experiences with Anita Baker. Like, they met her, she wasn't that nice, or, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So here are some of the tweets that are just kind of, she's going back and forth
Look at her
with people
dearest
about.
one.
Say what?
The word dearest one. Like,
Yeah,
that's already like she's trying to like smack you.
right.
So Anita Baker, I had to go through all these tweets. She got down with the comments.
Yeah.
She did. I have to. I mean,
Like she was kind of bullied.
I love it.
she
Right.
was.
So yeah, she was feeling bullied. So she was kind of trying to get back at people. People were even
Hello,
bringing
demon.
up.
Woo!
Girl, Miss Baker.
Yeah.
She
So
has no
people were
F's to
bringing
give.
up.
I love it.
Say what, Alicia?
She has no F's to give.
Yeah.
None, not one.
People were bringing up like past beefs that Anita Baker has had. One with
Him
Luther
too.
Vandross back in 1988.
She brought Beyonce into it.
Yes, she brought Beyonce into it, which is funny because she was replying to a tweet that had nothing to do with the situation. It was a person that had been tweeting about the situation. And here you can see that they were tweeting, they said, they were replying to this thread. And it says, actually, when this came out, everyone talked about how Beyonce was a horrible actor. And then she replies, he hates Beyonce as well. Kenny's Crazies. She's calling these fans Kenny's Crazies. For anybody who doesn't know, Babyface's real name is Kenneth Edmonds.
Right.
So Kenny's Crazies. So I'm not sure who she was talking about when she says he hates Beyonce as well.
Talking
If she was,
about Babyface.
and it was like, why is she even talking about Babyface? Because it had nothing to do with that. I thought I sent you the link to that. So there's this Twitter thread going around that says, without Googling, name a historic battle. And so people are putting in pop culture references. So people put a picture of Beyonce and this one actress, I forgot her name, but it's from, I think, one of the first movies Beyonce was in. It was like a Fatal Attraction type movie, but
Yes, okay.
yeah, I forget the name.
Drama, right?
Oh,
And
the
she
one
couldn't
with
fight,
Idris
and the-
Elba. When she-
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that fight scene was hilarious.
Yes.
Yes. So somebody put up a picture of that on that thread had nothing to do with Babyface, Anita Baker, or anything. This person, DJ Skills, responded to that tweet saying,
Okay.
when this movie came out, everyone was saying Beyonce is a horrible actor. Anita Baker saw this tweet and then retweeted it with, he hates Beyonce as well. Kenny's crazy. Because I had to look up, I was like, how did Beyonce get into this? Like, that makes no sense. So yes. So
Now, why are they calling her Anita Jailhouse Baker here?
Yeah.
they're calling her Jailhouse Baker. I don't,
Did she go to jail?
not
No.
that I know of, because
Okay. I thought
She
this
was
was a
talking
good
about-
tweet about your ego dims your light and diminishes your message every time. Put some respect on people's name. That man holds more Grammys than you. I've heard you are a nasty piece of work and no one wants to work with you. Do better, songstress. And she responded to that. She says, good morning to Kenny's crazies who continue to harass me.
yeah, so she responded to that, and then in that response, she said something like, I won that case.
Okay, so
But she was suing Spotify, so it was
there
nothing in jail.
was-
Go ahead.
there was and this is according to ABC News. Okay, so there was a warrant for her arrest.
Sorry.
And it was because she owed $15,000 for renovations to her Detroit area home.
Oh,
They put you
okay.
in jail for that?
No, I don't think she went to jail for it. So I think maybe because of that, warrant.
Theft of services.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well, if that's the case, a whole bunch of other celebrities need to be having warrants out for them, like Kim and Corey, for instance. Like, where are they
Right.
warrants at? But anyway,
All right, but that ain't the story.
I know.
But back on track. So after all of this, a lot of Twitter back and forth, Anita Baker went on to tweet that she was dropping Babyface from the tour because of the cyberbullying, the verbal abuse, and she was like, Kenny, get your fans. So she dropped him from the rest
She
of the
said,
tour.
in the interest of personal safety.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So
will
did Kenny have
continue
anything
this.
to say after his fans
Yeah,
was going after her? What was his response?
He was eating his popcorn.
It was just, he took the high road. He's
Yeah.
like saddened by the news, but he still has respect for her.
Right, but so
basically
he ain't gonna say
Harry.
nothing to his fans so about calming down.
This is what he said.
Oh.
The statement is on.
It's unfortunate and disheartening to see how things have played out via social media. While I was looking forward to the rest of these dates, I have nothing but love and respect for Anita, and I wish her the best for the remainder of her tour.
He should have backed her up about why he had to back out that night. You know what I mean? Like, because the fans were coming after her because they thought she was lying about, the time constraints. You know what I mean? So he should have at least backed her up on that night, but
So
Oh,
Stephanie
Stephanie
When the
Mills?
story first
Yeah.
came out, the story was that she was late and would not let them, being Babyface and his band, go on while she wasn't there.
Right.
That
Oh,
was the
okay.
She
first
was
thing
late.
that
I thought it was a
came
sound voice. That's what my
No. That's how it started out. The
Oh.
information started out incorrectly, and
Right.
Anita
Right.
Baker was the one that tweeted about what actually
Happened.
happened.
So now Stephanie Mills is joining in too.
A lot of people have had
Yeah, I didn't
problems.
see that.
with
We have got
problems
to
with
do
Anita.
better than this. I'm saddened by the fact that you have to make this statement. One would think as older artists who are considered iconic and or legendary, we would treat each other with respect and dignity. Babyface, we can tour together.
And
So,
Babyface has been very respectful through this whole thing. He hasn't said
Yeah.
one bad thing about her.
right.
I
Exactly.
Like she's mad at him.
I like her statement, but that last part she could have just left out.
Well, maybe she has some experience with Miss Baker too. Now, these people know each other.
Reportedly, she has.
Yeah. So what do y'all think about this? Do y'all think that Anita went too far by kicking Babyface off the tour? Who would you rather see in concert? Would you rather see Miss Anita Baker? Would you rather see Babyface? Talk to me, Divas.
Well, it's irrelevant. The point is, why is she kicking him off? Why?
Right.
just-
She doesn't
Because
feel
she was
safe.
threatened. She felt, you know,
Right. She didn't want to see none of his
Her
fans at
personal
her tour at that point.
safety.
that her
Yeah.
personal safety, Ms. Nicole.
Mhm.
But he
Oh, yes,
wasn't
there's going to
threatening
be
her. It was
right
people
in
on
her
Twitter.
It was his fans, so they could come to the show and try and do her harm. Who knows?
They
Maybe
just
that's
wanted to
what she
see
was
him.
feeling. I don't know.
All she has to do is let him perform. I think she was just being what she's reported to be. You know, I heard
Yeah.
rumors, but I had no opinion on her before. Now I
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Ms. Nicole. I think that she could have, okay, fine, that particular night, whatever happened, and call it a day and then just continue on. I mean, there was an issue that particular night and that was it. Okay, let's keep on with the show.
Why stoop down to the level of social media? It's just like,
Mhm.
it's not worth it.
At
It's
your
not
big
worth it.
age.
Exactly.
You said big age.
Up here, bringing Beyonce into it because you misunderstanding tweets and stuff.
Right.
I mean, it
Do
didn't
you
have
know
to.
if her ticket sales have gone down or up, Marty, or anything, or no?
Girl, I don't know.
All right, all right.
Have they replaced Babyface with somebody else?
You
She's
know, not that I know of. Maybe she just wanted to be on tour by herself.
Now,
Yeah,
I know I
look,
heard that
if
they
I
were
buy me
supposed
a
to be
ticket,
3
am
or
I gonna get
4
my money
other guests. Wasn't they? It was one of the tweets said that they were supposed to be 3 or 4 other like special guests.
I
Well,
think
I need to get my
Babyface
money
was
back
the
'cause
only
I
one
can
on
say
the flyer.
Babyface.
But I think Babyface was the only one on the flyer. But Marilyn, in Anita Baker's tweet, she did say something about refunds will be available.
Yes.
So I guess if people are like, hey, I came to see Babyface and not you, or you and Babyface, and I don't want to just pay to see you, they can get their refunds.
Yeah.
I wonder what his contract says. Does he still get paid something? Because you just taking away his
Mm.
money.
I didn't even think about that.
I think you're just gonna hurt yourself all around. You can find a way. You can find a way.
I mean, people are already saying like, "Hey, Babyface, let's get it. Like, why don't you have a tour going?" Because he just had he just did an NPR Tiny Desk concert. That's getting really good reviews. So people are like, "Hey, let's, why don't you just take?" Because he had Shantae Moore, Tank, and some other gentleman whose name I forget, singing background for him. So people are like, "Hey, get them together. Y'all do a tour."
He's got a great catalog, so
Yeah,
I mean,
and he can bring out the special guests. And like
Always.
even his latest album is like all special guests. What were you saying, Antrice?
People will always want to go see Babyface. That's all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Tank stood up and was like, was like, you were wrong to Anita Baker. I think he did something. Like
Yeah,
on
I
his
did see
Instagram.
that
He
as
replied
well.
that as well.
Oh well, oh well. Sorry, Miss Anita. I think you should just
She should have just taken the high road and just
Yeah.
call it a day.
Yeah. I was like, what? Not Anita Baker having beef with Babyface. And then I was like, he's taking a high road. Like, he ain't really got beef with her. He just like,
but
I'm cool.
like he
it's not
gonna
the
get his
first
coins
time that they've had
regardless.
beef, though. They've had problems before about contracts or monies or something like this.
Oh, Babyface and Anita Baker?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Okay, I may be wrong. Wasn't there something with Anita Baker and Patti LaBelle? Didn't they have that battle or something? And remember when they went to the kitchen, or is that what another?
I haven't heard about Babyface, but I've heard about everybody else. She's had problems with almost everyone she toured with, apparently.
Mm.
Oh, common denominator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember
Problem,
Patti
it's
LaBelle
me.
thing, but say what?
I said, me, I'm the problem. It's me.
It's me. Yeah, I was looking into because everybody was bringing up the Luther Vandross beef, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" So they said Luther Vandross, even though they said he had problems with people, but he had wrote in his book that similar. I think Anita Baker wanted. Hold on. That they had heated rehearsals and stuff, like they were touring together in '88, and they just weren't really getting along and things would get heated. But Luther Vandross did admit that he was a little bothered because Anita Baker didn't want to do a duet with him. And she like later explained like, oh no, at the time you asked me to do the duet, I was pregnant, so I couldn't do it. So after their beef, he was kind of like, well, now we should do a duet together to show that we've squashed our beef. And she was like, yeah, and never showed up to the studio.
Dang.
So, so There's R&B beefs, but we just don't see as much of them.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing a story about her life. Like she must have been like hood or something going, I don't know. I'm just like, about that
Maybe.
life I see.
Maybe. Well, Divas, I think that's all the time we have tonight. Viewers, jump down in the comments. Let us know, was you following the Anita Baker Babyface beef? Y'all going to the concert, or was y'all just trying to see Babyface? Or y'all want to see Babyface do his own tour? Or y'all don't care? What's the age group out there? Y'all feeling any of these artists? All right, y'all. That is our topics for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and get that little notification bell so you know when our videos come out. All right, y'all. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.